I'm going to ask you to please take out the worksheet that you started and completed yesterday during class. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and go over the answers to the worksheet. I'm going to move this out of the way. And remember, we're using the terms that are over here on the right. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the area, and I think I'll go ahead and make it green. And let's see if I can make it darker here. Okay. Yeah. Okay. There we go. All right. So what we're going to do first is we're going to look for the first term, which is an active cell. And if you'll remember from your Cornell notes, the active cell is any cell that has the black border around it. So that is an active cell. Cell A1 is the active cell. All right, so we'll go over here, and let's just cross that off. There we go. All right, the next term that we need to know is a column. And if you remember, a column is any vertical area. Remember, vertical means what? Running from top to bottom, any vertical area within your worksheet. So I could actually, if I wanted to, I could highlight every one of these columns. And remember, a column runs vertically from top to bottom, and all columns are labeled with a letter of the alphabet. So there are actually, anybody remember? 256 columns in each worksheet. And remember, if we look down here at the bottom, we have 3 worksheets by default. And remember, if you left click any worksheet, you can name that worksheet. And each worksheet can have a separate name. But remember, they all have to be related to one another. Okay, so we can go up here and we'll cross off column. The next term is a row. A row is any what? Horizontal area that runs across a worksheet. So like I said, I could actually highlight every one of these rows. Every row starts with a number. Okay, any one of these numbers I could highlight. And if you remember, there are 65,536 rows in each of these sheets. So we'll cross off a row. Toolbars. Well, right now we have several toolbars out, but we're only going to name, because you should know all of them actually anyway, from working in Word and all the other applications that we did in MS Office. But let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and highlight the standard toolbar. This is the standard toolbar. What does the standard toolbar do? It does standard things, like, if you can look up at that, gives you a new document, which is a new Excel book. You can open a file, you can save, you can print, you can spell check, you can cut and copy and paste, all the standard things that you would do, which are things that are usual, what the normal things that you would do. And the other toolbar is your formatting toolbar. You notice with the formatting toolbar, it's going to make a change. It's going to make a change in the color of the font. It's going to make a change in the color of the cell. It's going to merge cells. You can bold, italicize, underline. And the biggest thing to remember is font and format. Both of them start with an F. So there's the first font, Arial. Okay, there we go. So we'll go ahead and get rid of toolbars. Good. All right, worksheet. Worksheet is this entire area. This entire area is your worksheet. And remember, by default, you have 1, you have 2, and you have 3. Okay, so that's your worksheet. Let's remember, if you remember, your worksheet are like your handouts inside your binder. So there, workbook was the next word. Okay, binder. Your workbook is the entire Excel file. This entire book. See, book 1, this entire thing, if I could take this and highlight and run it all the way down and around, and I'm not going to do that though, because I'm not very adept with this. But anyway, This entire thing is your workbook, which is like your binder or your notebook. And then inside your notebook you have all your worksheets, which are your handouts that your teachers give you. So maybe if you look at it that way, whenever you name a file, you're naming the workbook, which is the entire file. All right, the formula bar. The formula bar, I'm going to cross this off because I'm going to show you exactly where the formula bar is now, and you can check your papers. The formula bar is here. The formula bar displays the contents of the cell. So if I were to write something, say, in this cell, whatever's in that cell is going to be displayed here, especially if it's a formula. Like if I'm adding several cells together and I put the answer right here, the answer is actually going to show up wherever you put the formula. But the formula is going to show up in the formula bar, but the answer will show up in the cell. The name box. Well, I already highlighted the name box, but not because I wanted you to know at that time that it was the name box. But the name box is right here. This name box actually tells you which cell is your active cell. Right in here is your name box. You notice there's a drop-down arrow because, remember, you can actually name ranges. We talked about that. A range is a group of cells next to each other. So you could actually give this a name, and then you could click on the down arrow. Pick the name that you gave that range and go directly to that range. It kind of saves you time. All right, sheet tabs. Well, the sheet tabs we talked about already also. The sheet tabs are right here at the bottom. Sheet 1, Sheet 2, Sheet 3. And remember, we wanted to add them, or excuse me, not add them, but add more. We can go up to the word insert and insert more worksheets. And you can actually drag them and drop them wherever you want them. Merge and center. Merge and center, guys, I actually already discussed that, but it's actually underneath here. But it is the icon that kind of looks like a white piece of paper, and then inside it'll have arrows that point left and right. It's next to the dollar sign, so it's between the dollar sign and one of the alignments, and I actually highlighted over it, and I don't think I can go back over that and make it transparent, so it's kind of like under there, but we'll use that as long as you know it's within this area here, okay, somewhere around help. All right, the title bar. The title bar, what? Names the file. It shows where the file is. So this is the title bar, this entire blue bar that goes all the way across is your title bar. And the last one is your scroll bars, and you have scroll bars on the bottom right here, and you have scroll bars on the right side right here. Okay? Very good. All right, what I'd like you to do is to go ahead and put your worksheet back in your folder until we need it for another time.